Tonight, the Totem Mall is shut down after a vehicle drove into it early this morning. The ICBC is in financial crisis after losing almost $1 billion in 9 months. And bodies have been found in planters at the property of an alleged serial killer in Toronto. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Hugh Smith. The Totem Mall in Fort St. John is closed indefinitely until repairs are finished to the building's exterior after a vehicle drove into the west side of the mall. Mall administration says no staff or shoppers were injured in the crash, which took place around 3 a.m. The RCMP is investigating and has yet to release any information. Crews were seen repairing the damage throughout the day as security guards turned away shoppers. A large hole can be seen in front of Apollo Avenue sunglasses and watches. The wall will be closed until repairs to the exterior are finished. We'll be following this story and have more information as it's released. A 35-year-old man from Grande Prairie is facing numerous drug charges after a suspicious vehicle complaint. Last Wednesday, the RCMP say they received a complaint at 2:15 p.m. of a suspicious vehicle near 104th Street and 99th Avenue. Police went to the area, found the vehicle in a parking lot, and found out that it had been stolen. The driver and passenger were both arrested. In a backpack, the RCMP say they found 85 tablets of alprazolam, 16 tablets of risperidone, 2 tablets of fentanyl, 1.4 grams of powdered fentanyl, half a gram of cocaine, 2 grams of methamphetamine, and a loaded handgun. Cameron Pike faces a long list of charges, including possession of a controlled substance, possession for the purpose of trafficking, possession of property obtained by crime, and unauthorized possession of a firearm. The passenger was released without charges. A teen from Grande Prairie has been charged with animal cruelty. On Sunday, police received a complaint about a video on social media allegedly showing the abuse of an animal. The RCMP investigated and say they've charged a 14-year-old girl with causing unnecessary suffering to an animal. Police say the animal was not injured. The teen cannot be named as she is underage, and the RCMP say they will be providing no further information. And the Grande Prairie RCMP are looking for the public's help in identifying 2 alleged thieves. Police say last night around 7 p.m. they received a report of a robbery in the area of Kateri Drive and 71st Avenue. A man told the RCMP that 2 men driving a dark-colored pickup truck demanded his belongings and assaulted him. The victim received minor injuries. Police are asking anyone with information to call Grande Prairie RCMP or Crime Stoppers. ICBC is facing a financial crisis. The Crown Corporation is facing a near $1 billion loss in just 9 months. The provincial government says the system is broken and is promising action. Attorney General David Eby says premiums would have to go up by $400 just for ICBC to break even. He says big changes are coming this spring. Things like capping minor injury payments, auto body costs, and making high-risk drivers pay more. Eby addressing reporters' questions about this financial crisis on the heels of this weekend's revelations of just how dire ICBC's financial outlook is. They're projecting a net loss of almost $1.3 billion by the end of the fiscal year. In a statement on its website, ICBC says the amount of premiums we are collecting from customers is not covering the ever-increasing amounts we are paying out in claims costs. This is not sustainable. Eby is placing the blame squarely on the shoulders of the BC Liberals, calling this a financial dumpster fire.
They knew the dumpster was on fire, but they pushed it behind the building. British Columbians were not told the truth about the state of ICBC. They were told the problem was not serious, a loss of about 100 times less than was actually the case.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation says it's time to overhaul the system and open it up to competition, but not everyone thinks that will mean lower prices.
Quebec has a blended system, so injuries to the person are covered by the province, but damage to the vehicle is dealt with privately. They've actually got the lowest rates in all of Canada.
Privatize it so we can enjoy what everyone else around the world enjoys, competitive rates. Yeah, instead of the government having a monopoly.
I don't know whether that would actually turn out to be competitive and reduce rates.
BC saw a rate increase by 6.4% in November. Eby says he's still reviewing the numbers. He says he wants to keep rates affordable, but he didn't rule out a rate hike. As for private insurance, it doesn't sound like they'll take that route. Eby saying privatization hasn't led to lower prices in all jurisdictions. He's also ruling out no-fault insurance. Anti-pipeline activists got a show of support from Vancouver Island this morning.
This particular group started 6 months ago when we walked from Victoria to this exact location over 4 days and 78 kilometers. And we're back.
They're back at the gates of the Kinder Morgan Westridge Terminal in Burnaby for what they call a peaceful pancake blockade. The group is standing in solidarity with local activists and the 59 First Nations that have long opposed the Kinder Morgan project. They say it would result in a 700% increase in tanker traffic in the Salish Sea. An alleged serial killer in Toronto is facing 3 more charges of first-degree murder. And as CTV's Austin Delaney reports, police believe they will eventually discover more victims.
We've never seen anything quite like this.
Detective Sergeant Hang Itsinga says this investigation is unprecedented in the city.
It's a serial killer, alleged serial killer, and he's taken some steps to cover his tracks, and we have to uncover these victims.
His victims' remains found in Planters. Bruce MacArthur, a landscaper by trade, was arrested January 19th and charged with the murders of Salim Essen and Andrew Kinsman. Today, police add 3 more names and 3 more first-degree murder charges.
These new charges are in relation to the murders of Majid Kahan, Sarush Marmoudi, and Dean Lissowick.
Investigators say they are throwing everything at this case, asking clients of MacArthur to contact them.
We do believe there are more, and I have no idea how many more there are going to be.
Police remain at the properties associated with MacArthur, including this Leaside address where remains have been found in Planters.
They can't be identified because they're skeletal remains and they have been dismembered. So we have to wait for DNA tests, and we have to get DNA tests from the people who are outstanding and their family members before we can identify those remains.
Essen and Kinsman connected to MacArthur through the gay village, but the investigation is now no longer looking just in the gay community for more victims.
2 Canadians are among a group of 10 people accused of violating Cambodia's indecency laws. Both have denied wrongdoing. As CTV's Omar Sachedina reports, authorities call the alleged crime pornographic dancing.
The fate of these 10 tourists is in the hands of Cambodian police, 2 of them Canadian, 25-year-old Jessica Drolet and 20-year-old Eden Kazolius from near Edmonton, whose arrest came as a surprise to her aunt back home.
This is really, really concerning. Eden's a very, very good kid. She's very outgoing. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't drink. She does volunteer work to help.
Almost 90 people were rounded up in the major raid at a party in a rented villa. Pictures Cambodian police shared on their website show people in provocative positions. Authorities call pornographic dancing. Along with the 2 Canadians arrested, there were also 5 Brits, as well as 1 traveler each from Norway, New Zealand, and the Netherlands.
I think it comes down to people really, respecting the culture and respecting the the country that they're visiting, and really sort of being more careful about traveling abroad.
The arrests happened in Siem Reap, which sees more than 2 million tourists every year, eager to visit the town's stunning temple grounds and the star attraction, Angkor Wat. An architectural marvel, it's the world's largest religious monument, a source of Cambodia's national pride, even serving as a movie set for the 2001 Hollywood hit Tomb Raider, starring Angelina Jolie. 2 years ago, a strict dress code went into effect after pictures of women posing nude at ancient Cambodian temples went viral. The most recent arrests, an indication authorities may be stepping up those efforts even off temple grounds.
Cambodian officials have been a little bit frustrated by the fact that Westerners come and party near some of their monuments.
The group could reportedly be held up to 6 months before the case goes to trial. The sentence, if convicted, up to a year in prison.
Omar Sachedina, CTV News, Ottawa.
President Trump is back at the White House preparing for his first State of the Union address. The president is facing a critical week with immigration negotiations. And in a rare broadcast interview, he weighed in on a broad range of issues.
Depending on who you talk to, you're either delivering on a lot of your promises and beginning to make America great, or you're a raging, tweeting wrecking ball who's destroying the country and terrifying the entire planet.
Yeah.
How do you plead?
Well, I plead not guilty. What happened?
To all of it?
Well, I
The
think,
second bit.
No, I think I shake things up. It had to be shaken up.
It was the ultimate friendly interview, the president sitting down with former Celebrity Apprentice winner Piers Morgan, who had an unusual way of asking about the women who have protested President Trump in record numbers.
Are you a feminist?
No, I wouldn't say I'm a feminist. I mean, I think that would be maybe going too far. I'm for women, I'm for men, I'm for everyone.
The president revealed a bit about his tweeting habits.
Are you actually lying in bed with your phone, working out how to wind everybody up?
Well, perhaps sometimes in bed and perhaps sometimes at breakfast or lunch or whatever.
The White House says the State of the Union address tomorrow night will show a president who cares about all Americans, but his critics aren't buying it. Rapper Jay-Z over the weekend attacked Trump for using a vulgar slur to describe African countries.
It's really hurtful because you're looking down on a whole population of people, and you're so misinformed because these places have beautiful people and have beautiful everything. Yeah. And it's just like, this is the leader of the free world speaking like this.
That prompted a response from President Trump via Twitter. Somebody please inform Jay-Z that because of my policies, black unemployment has just been reported to be at the lowest rate ever recorded.
That's a theme the president is expected to hit in his State of the Union address. As for the fallout over the vulgar slur, U.S. officials confirmed Trump sent a letter to African Union leaders seeking to soothe tensions with those countries, writing, quote, "The United States deeply respects the people of Africa, and my commitment to strong and respectful relationships with African states and as sovereign nations is firm." Check out this amazing brush with wildlife one West Coast resident caught on camera. This man caught an orca pod coming onto the shore in Seychelles to give themselves a rock rub. Another man caught the pod from a different angle, showing just how close they were. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but first, here's what's happening where you live in tonight's community events.